Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Big Idea. I'm your host, Jason Seymour. I'm the spokesperson to the U.S. mission to the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, otherwise known as ASEAN. We started this show because we know that Southeast Asia is filled with so many exciting leaders who have not only had big ideas, but they've turned those ideas into a reality. And we have one of those guests with us here today. Please join the program, Quy Nguyen.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hello.
Jason. How are you?
Well, welcome. I'm so excited to talk to you today. And right off the top, we're going to talk about a program that I just love, and it's the U.S. Peace Corps. And the Peace Corps has come to Vietnam, and you are very, very involved in the Peace Corps. So if you could tell our audience, what is the Peace Corps and how are you involved?
Thank you, Jason. First, I'd like to say hi to everyone, and thank you for having me in this very great meeting today, and talking conversation today. So Peace Corps finally is in Vietnam after such a long time that there's a lot of conversations and everything going on, and finally Peace Corps is in Vietnam now. Peace Corps is a volunteer program run by the U.S. Government, and Peace Corps program in Vietnam, there will be American volunteers who will come to Vietnam to support high school in Vietnam in teaching English. So I will be a part of that to support the volunteers to integrate into the community by helping them to learn Vietnamese language and culture as a language and cross-cultural coordinator of Peace Corps Vietnam.
And the Peace Corps, just for our audience, is a program that the U.S. government started in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy. Well, it was obviously it never just is the president. There are a lot of people behind the scenes making this a reality, but this was very important to that president and the U.S. government at that time. And we're about to celebrate the 61st birthday in March 1st. Do you know if Vietnam Peace Corps is going to do anything special for the birthday or the anniversary?
I think every day is special for us here in Vietnam with Peace Corps, because Peace Corps is, for me, is like my family, because everyone is really supporting each other. And the mission of Peace Corps is to build world peace and friendship. So we need to build peace and friendship inside our family, Peace Corps in Vietnam. So I think in the future, of course, we have a lot of activities with other countries, different countries in the world also celebrating Peace Corps birthday. So all of us will celebrate together amidst this COVID-19. So maybe there's some more online meetings, online discussion and celebrations.
Yeah. And Vietnam is only, as you said, one of many, many countries where this happened, where there is the U.S. Peace Corps. U.S. Peace Corps volunteers have been in 143 countries. Yes. I knew it was a lot of countries, but I looked at that number today. Wow, that's fantastic. And there are a lot of Peace Corps volunteers throughout ASEAN member states, Indonesia, and
Thailand.
Thailand, the most Peace Corps. Let's see if anyone in the audience can guess where we have the most volunteers of any ASEAN member state. I'll reveal that a little later. Remind me, Quy, to reveal the answer, but we'll see if anyone in the audience has a guess on that. But as you said, it took a really long time, a lot of negotiating between the US government and Vietnam to bring Peace Corps to Vietnam. This has been a project and an idea for many, many years. When was the first time you heard about Peace Corps?
Actually, I heard about Peace Corps in the Wisely program. The Wisely program when I was in the US, when I was just a university student, and I was there, and then my one of my teaching assistants, graduate teaching assistant, he was a Peace Corps volunteer in Africa, and he talked a lot about Peace Corps. And then I asked him, if I would be able to join the Peace Corps. He said, the first requirement, you need to be an American citizen. And I say, okay, so I will find other ways to support Peace Corps because I really love the mission. And then I realized that one way to do is to be a staff of the Peace Corps office, so I can support the volunteers coming here to be a part of this.
And now your dream is a reality. You had this idea. Yes. So tell our audience a little bit more about, now that you are a staffer, what do you specifically do? I know you mentioned language training programs, but yes, go into a little more detail.
So my job title is Language and Cross-Cultural Coordinator. So, it's not just about teaching Vietnamese language and culture, helping the volunteers, American volunteers coming here to integrate into community, to adapt quickly with the families, with the schools, with the people surrounding the community in Vietnam. But one of the important things is to also find a way to have the volunteers to share more about American culture with Vietnamese people. So it's a two-way exchange. And I think it's an important thing to preach the understanding between two cultures. And I really love my job now. Every day coming to work is like the dream coming true.
Now, the Peace Corps will take volunteers of all kinds of ages, but generally most Americans who are volunteers are in their 20s, and many of them might be traveling to Southeast Asia or Vietnam for the first time. What's some of the culture shock you've observed by these Americans?
It's a lot, I think I will try to find something really interesting for me. I know it's called culture shock. For us, it might be just a normal thing. We have the highest, the second ranking country in the world in terms of the numbers of motorbike in Vietnam. So we have a lot of motorbikes here. So in Vietnam, every two people will have one motorbike. So we have up to like almost 50 million motorbikes. So it's a big thing in Vietnam. And also, if you're having food, maybe you try some Vietnamese food, Jason, like phở, bánh mì, a lot of foods. But coming here in Vietnam, you will see that in our meals, we often have rice in a lot of foods. My mom told me that a day without rice sounds like you do not eat any meal. You have not had any meals in a day. So that would be two shocking things. But I believe that with my role, I will really support the volunteers to understand more about that, not just to avoid that, but how to adapt to that, to really be part of the community.
Absolutely. When you started talking about the motorbikes, that brought back such memories, because I've been to Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, and wow, you are correct.
Were you able to cross the road with all the motorbikes coming?
I'd be careful because I like to walk, and I was walking around the cities. I had to be very, very careful.
Confidence is the key.
Yes. Now, as you were saying earlier, you're very passionate about language development, both English language skills and Vietnamese skills. So what is Peace Corps doing in Vietnam to promote English language instruction?
So in Vietnam, Peace Corps will have volunteers coming here, and we have a lot of trainings for them, not just about Vietnamese language and culture, but also about teaching English in different high schools. And in Hanoi and in Ho Chi Minh City as well. And of course, will be the area outside of the big city, the main city. And will be the first year of us. So the volunteers will support the students in the school to learn English. And to understand more about, maybe they organize some activities for the students to have, maybe the English competition, the eloquence contest, and a lot of activities. So students will boost their confidence in speaking and listening skills in English. That is the mission of the Peace Corps. And we always want to have students understand more about other countries through English. So that's why the Peace Corps volunteers in Vietnam to support that process. by helping students to be more confident in speaking English.
Yeah. Now, your English is very good, inspirational.
Thank you.
How did you acquire your strong English language skills?
So I think I would share something a little bit about that. So before that, I remember when I was 10 years old. There were some foreigner passed by my area. So I live in Ninh Bình. Ninh Bình is very famous in Vietnam. It is a place where there's a American movie was shot there, the Kong Skull Island movie. So very beautiful, a lot of foreigners there. So they went through my house. I decided to come up and talk with them. At that time, I just wanted to talk because I'm sure that I didn't understand what they replied. Just talk. Hello, what's your name? Where are you from? Just ask a lot of questions. And I realized that I didn't understand what they replied. So I was motivated to study. So I tried my best to study, self-study, and try to have the opportunities to talk with foreign people. And then later on, when I moved from the countryside to Hanoi, I joined a lot of activities. And one of my first programs is Wisely, and later on is a Fulbright program. So those programs really helped me to be more confident. I know that I still just speak English with Vietnamese accent. But as long as you understand me, as long as I am confident to speak, I think that is a key in speaking a language.
I think that's a really good tip, and I like what you said about just talk. Especially when you're just getting started, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Most people will be very kind and they'll try to help you. So just talk, just work through the fears, work through the nerves, because you have to practice to get better.
Yes.
Now, we got a very interesting question from Skylar, who's wondering which language is more difficult to learn, Vietnamese or English? So let's say someone's from Thailand or Laos or Cambodia, and they are thinking about, should I learn English or should I learn Vietnamese? Which one will be harder?
Of course, there will be a lot of research about that as well. So I just want to be honest, Vietnamese is a quite difficult language because we have tones. We also have a lot of complicated vocabulary. But one easy thing is that if you can master the pronunciation of Vietnamese language, that is a key thing, that you will be more confident in speaking the language. And for me, as a Vietnamese, I still say Vietnamese is easier. But I know that to a lot of people coming here, it's challenging at first. But with the support of the teachers and the support of the people in the community to learn Vietnamese language, and the most important thing, as long as you have the motivation to stay in the country and to learn about that country for a reason, you always can master the language sooner or later. So that is a key thing.
I'm sure the Peace Corps volunteers and the other people that you worked with understand that, wow, that learning how to be a good teacher, that's really important. And as a student, you have to find a good teacher. That relationship, student-teacher relationship, is so important. So I want to pause for a moment. I don't know if you know Nga Wang. I hope I said your name correctly. He's saying hello. Maybe that's a friend of yours.
This is one of our teacher in my project, Vietnamese for You, my project before. I work for Peace Corps. Hello, Nga.
Now, Skylar in the message said, "Hi, Cookie." So please share with our audience, how did you get this wonderful nickname, Cookie?
I sometimes with the name or the nickname, sometimes we didn't have a chance because our parents had that chance, right? So my name is Quy, Kiwi, and in Vietnamese, the meaning is cookie. So that's why people call me Cookie. Yes. And the one of the things is that I didn't really like eating cookies. So that's also a very funny thing. So also something about my family name is Nguyen. I know it's quite a long family name, and it is a recognized family name of Vietnam. 45 Vietnamese people, percent of Vietnamese people have this family name.
Yes,
So
that's
if you
true.
see this family name, they have something to do with Vietnam.
I've had two American friends of Vietnamese descent who both shared your family name. It's
Yes.
very true. Quite a few. So I do want to segue a little bit because I want to talk about your program, V for You, and the efforts that you are undertaking to promote language exchange. Please tell our audience a little bit about this project.
Starting with the name, the V for You, the long name is Vietnamese for you, but we changed the word for into pho. So pho is the most kind of famous legendary food in Vietnam, the noodle soup. So the name itself talk about both language and culture. So in this program, it's an online program, and we try to connect Vietnamese students, people, local people, even parents, everyone in Vietnam to foreign people, and not just about speaking English. So far we have 9, and this year we have 11 languages exchange with Vietnamese language. So they connect with each other online. And one special thing about us is we have facilitators in the exchange sections. You have a lot of exchange apps. You can meet foreigners, right? You can just type on social media, hey, I want to exchange languages. You can find someone. But we built a structured program so the volunteers can really, the people, I say volunteer, I work with Peace Corps, the exchangers can really talk with each other and in a structured way to talk about language and culture. So we are very proud because we have been connect a lot of students. They never had opportunities to meet the foreigners before. Now they meet through the virtual platform. So it's really inspiring for them, motivate them to learn
Really?
languages.
What are some of the other languages of ASEAN member states that you have?
So ASEAN languages, we have Thai, and then we have students from Malaysia a lot, but they want to exchange Chinese and Mandarin and Vietnamese, and then we also have students from the Philippines. They also exchange English, and then Singapore exchanging English with Vietnamese students, um, and yeah, and surround the area there are also Indian people. Yes, let me think. Yes, so yeah, so
We
the main.
need Indonesian. We need some Laotian. We have some more languages to go, and then obviously
Yes.
so lesser known languages with some of the marginalized communities in Southeast Asia. So I hope you get more volunteers. What's the best way for people to contact you?
So you can type just V for you on Google, and you can find the page, and it's a free language exchange program. And you mentioned that the language, right? I think even in Southeast Asia, we still communicate with each other in English. So that's why a lot of our friends from like Indonesia or Malaysia also contacted us, but they wanted to exchange English. So that's why I didn't mention them. But of course, there are a lot of other countries in Southeast Asia. But
Sure.
the language is English, it's dominant. But we try to also teach, the local language as well.
And why are you so passionate about languages? From where does that interest come?
So I think it's a lot in me because there's when you read an article, if you just know your own language, you didn't read all articles, right? You just read your articles, in your language. But now, if you have uh, that's the same article writing about the same topic, but in different language, other perspective. So I think it's very important to understand other people's perspective. And I think my motivation, like selfish motivation, was because when I watched some channels, and when I didn't know what they were talking about, and they speak very fast, and I said, I know I will make it. I need to understand what they're saying. So I decided to learn the language. And I think maybe for you, Jason, when you learn a language, you started understanding more about English because that's really how you think, how you actually learn English because you didn't have to learn English, right?
Hmm.
So you didn't know, you would not know your own language if you don't learn at least one language. So that's how I think it's important to learn languages.
That's fantastic. Yes, when I was a kid, I was already fascinated in other cultures and traveling the world. And every culture has different idioms, different expressions, different ways of conversing, and you you really get to know a culture when you start learning the language and you see how they put words together. And it's just exciting and it's fun and it opened doors. I'm a big fan. So I'm jealous of what you do. You always get to focus on language development. That's very, very exciting. We're coming to the end of our interview, but I wanted you to talk just a little bit about your involvement in Waisili. You mentioned Waisili a couple times during the interview. Some people in the audience might not know what that is. Tell our audience a little bit about Waisili.
So yeah, thank you for asking me this question because I'm always excited whenever I talk about Waisili because so Waisili is a Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative
Got
program.
it. Got
I almost forget because after that I joined other programs. So this is one of my very first family, international family, where I have the chance to meet all people from all countries in ASEAN countries, and I have a chance to bring the value to the community by launching projects. I have ideas, and then we will propose that, and then we got a chance to go to the US for 5 week program training about leadership, about community project launching, and also it's had to understand sharing more about Vietnamese culture and learning about American culture. So it was my first time in the US. So I was in Montana, my first impression. While in my mind it was about New York, about Washington D.C. So Montana was really give me the diversity image of the U.S. And then I moved to Louisiana just 4 weeks after that,
Wow,
and then
completely
moved to
different.
D.C. Hmm?
Completely different. Very, very
Yes.
different areas of the
So
country.
yes, so with this program, we bring more values to people and really for me, at that moment, I launched a project about the environment, and it's really encourage children to raise awareness about protecting the environment by small actions. So we have a lot of fun activities for students to learn more about the environment and a lot of games for them to practice the environmentally friendly actions, to have the community.
I love the way you worded that. If we all just did a small action every day for
Yes,
the environment, for our
yes,
communities, wow,
yes,
what a world this would be. Well, we're just
yes.
about to wrap up, but I'm just going to ask you two more quick questions, and then we will end. If you could go back to the United States, what's a city you have not seen yet that you'd really like to see?
Mm, after that, I had the Fulbright program, so we also went to visit so many other states. Um, I think a city, I have a lot of students from Washington,
Uh-huh.
and they share with me that it's a headquarter of a lot of big organizations in Washington, and I, I it's I feel like I wanted to be back and to meet all people in different states. But for me, the place I want to come back to just meet the people that I meet. So I think it's more important about the people in that place as well. That I really want to meet them. So, and I've had a lot of friends and students from Washington. So definitely, for me, it's more about the people. It's not about a place.
It
So I would
almost
love to be
always
back.
is. Always is, yeah. And last question for you. If I get to visit you in Vietnam, which I hope I do, what's something special you'll take me to see?
Do you want to see motorbikes again?
We could go on a motorbike trip to someplace special. You're driving though.
I don't know how to drive a motorbike. I'm very
Oh,
not typical. I'm very, like I represent for Vietnamese culture, and then they say, "Oh, I don't know how to drive." I think I love cycling. So for me, I would love you to, because you live in California, right?
yes.
Yes. So I don't know, like cycling surrounding the countryside area and see the paddy fields. I think it's in my hometown in Ninh Bình, a very famous place. So with that, we can cycle together and enjoy the view of a paddy field. Yes, so that is one of the beautiful thing. I think
I love
it
that.
will
And
it's very
after
peaceful. Avoid the hustle and bustle of this city life.
that's wonderful. And then after we go cycling and enjoy the views, we can
You
sit
think?
down and have some pho and a wonderful herbal tea and chat, and you can teach me some words in Vietnamese. I would
Yes,
really enjoy it.
definitely people know pho, but there will be more than pho. And I
Of
think
course.
you should try. So the last thing I would like you to try is different types of coffee. So we have egg coffee, that we have egg inside the coffee. Have you tried that?
Yes, yes, I have. Yes,
Okay, so have you
lovely.
tried the coffee with coconuts and milk?
Probably not, but I love coconuts, so I'm open
So
for that.
the Vietnam is one of the countries that produce export coffee the most in the world. So I think you should try coffee, different kinds of coffee. And I think for 1 month you still try the new types of coffee in Vietnam.
I love that. I love that. All right, well, we'll have to wrap it up there. Unfortunately, I could easily go another half hour, but we're going to have to move on. But thank you so much to our audience for joining us. Today, we talked all about the Peace Corps. We talked about this very exciting volunteer language exchange group, Vietnamese Pho U. So the information, the contact information is all below. And I hope if you're in Vietnam, you get to meet Cookie at some point, or maybe there'll be some regional workshop that Cookie will attend because she has wonderful ideas. She'd love to work with you. If you'd like some assistance reaching out to her, reach out to us, put a comment below. We can put you in contact. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cookie, for joining us.
Yes, and if you cannot meet me in person for now because of COVID, you can contact us with the online program, right? You connect everyone all over the world. So thank you so much for having me
That's
here
right.
today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I learned so much and you got me all excited, and now I want to learn some Vietnamese. So, but now I know Quy, which means cookie.
Yes.
So
Yes,
I
you
have at least
see,
one.
easy, right? Tyler, it's very easy to learn Vietnamese.
All right. Well, thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Again, thanks to our audience. And until the
Bye.
next episode, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.